What's up, everybody? So this video is going to be a little bit of a follow-up to the video I just posted regarding tank size for goldfish. It's pretty common that people start off with a tank size that is too small for their goldfish, and they later realize that they need a bigger tank. So I just kind of want to talk about the options that you might have if you find yourself in this situation. And that's where I started off when I first started keeping goldfish. I went out and bought a 10-gallon starter kit and stocked it with 2 telescope goldfish. One of them ended up having ick, and I didn't know how to treat for it. I didn't know about cycling my tank. I didn't know that I should be doing water changes more frequently than I was. So I ended up killing both of my fish within, I don't even think they lasted a week, unfortunately. So I think a lot of people find themselves in that situation, and it's what you do with the information that you learn that's the important thing. You may be in a situation where you're really overstocked right now, but if you learn that your fish need more room, it's what you do with that information that's the important thing. So, if you find yourself in that situation, the first most obvious option for you is to get a bigger tank. You can check your local classifieds. If you live in the US, there's Craigslist where you can get great deals on used tanks. You can go to your pet store. If you live in the US, Petco does a $1 per gallon sale at least a couple times a year, so it's a good idea to kind of look out for that. And if you're unable to afford to upgrade your tank right now, there's a pretty cheap option, and I'll show you guys what that is. So you can just use a big plastic Rubbermaid storage bin as temporary housing for your goldfish. The clear kind is the best. This one here is 18 gallons. So you'd fill it up with water just like you would a tank. Put your filter on. This is obviously not really an appropriate filter for 18 gallons, but it was just all I had laying around. This is actually the one that comes with those 10-gallon kits. Put an airstone in there. Have that hooked up to the air pump, and you're good to go. You can put gravel in the bottom if you want to. You can put a few plants, whatever. Goldfish don't really need a lot. They don't need all that stuff. This would be perfectly fine housing for a goldfish if it had water in it right now. So these are really good options if you're overstocked and you need a little bit more room. You could even leave some of your fish in the tank that you have if it's an appropriate size. Like if you had a 10-gallon, you could leave one fish in the 10-gallon. Get one of these. A filter is pretty cheap. The air pumps are pretty cheap too. And yeah, so this is a really good option. Most people have these storage bins, laying around with some winter clothes in them. Otherwise, you can get them for, $10, not much. They don't cost much at all. And you could even keep it on your floor. You don't have to have a cover on it. It's not necessary. The only reason why you would need a cover is if you had, cats and they could potentially get to the tank or anything like that. In that case, you could use like a big piece of screen or a piece of plexiglass or something to just cover the top. So beyond upgrading your tank or getting, one of those plastic storage bins, your other options are to rehome your fish. So you could post a ad on Craigslist or in your classifieds, or you could just ask around. Maybe your family has friends who keep fish and they could take a couple. Maybe you have a friend whose parents would allow them to take one. You could also try to take them back to a pet store. Not necessarily even the one that you got them from. Some pet stores will take fish that didn't come from them. But you want to always ask what their policy is and what they do with the fish that they take. because some pet stores that take fish back won't sell them. So I think that they kill them. I don't know. So you just want to make sure you know what their policy is before you do that. And then if you absolutely, cannot upgrade your tank, you're totally unwilling to rehome your fish, you can't find a pet store that will take them back, whatever the situation is, the best thing that you can do when you're overstocked is water changes. Constant, daily water changes as frequently and as much as you can. If you had 3 fish in a 10-gallon tank, you should probably be doing daily 80% water changes. The best way to know when you need to change your water is to have a test kit. Drop test kits are the best. API makes a great one. They make a freshwater kit that comes with everything that you need. So that way that you can test your water and you can know when ammonia is building up in your tank, when nitrite builds up, when nitrate builds up, and then you can know when you need to test your water. But if you... Gosh, she is really bullying him right now. She gets a little pushy sometimes, and it's not breeding behavior because she is a confirmed female. It's a little frustrating. Anyway, so yeah, frequent water changes as much as you can, as often as you can. You're never going to hurt anything by doing too many water changes. There's no such thing. So yeah, those are about the only options that I can think of for you guys. If you guys have other possible options, please put them in the comments below. Let me know what you think. And thanks again so much for watching.